If you're new here, welcome. This channel is built around a simple idea: staying clear, calm, and prepared in times that don't always feel that way. Not through fear, not through overreaction, just through thinking clearly and focusing on what actually matters. So let's talk about how to best be prepared without overcomplicating it in an emergency. If I had to get my family prepared this week without overcomplicating it, this is what I would do. Not everything, not extreme scenarios, not months of planning, just what actually matters. Because most people get this wrong. They either do nothing or they try to do everything, and both lead to the same result, which is they stay unprepared. Preparation isn't about fear. It's about reducing friction, making sure that if something changes, your life doesn't immediately become chaotic. So instead of trying to prepare for everything, we're going to simplify it. We're going to talk about 3 things: your home, your mobility, your communication. And we're going to make each one real. Okay? Let's start with the home, because most disruptions don't start with you leaving. They start with things not working the way they normally do. The power goes out. Stores get overcrowded. Supplies run thin. Nothing dramatic, just inconvenient. And inconvenience is where most people fall apart. Start with water. A simple target, 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days. More if you can. That's not extreme, that's stability. Now food. This again is where people either overdo it or they do nothing at all. People picture long-term storage, survival kits, and then they freeze. So instead, we're going to keep it simple. Start with what you already eat. When you go to the store, just buy a little extra. If you normally buy 1, buy 2. And that's it for now. You're not stockpiling, you're building a buffer. A good starting point with food is 3 to 7 days of food. That alone is going to put you ahead of most people. From there, if you want to build more, aim for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is strong. Or 30 days, which is very solid. You don't have to jump straight to 30 days. Build it gradually. A little more each time you shop. And then you're going to focus on food that lasts, is easy to prepare, doesn't rely heavily on refrigeration. Things like canned soup, tuna, beans, rice, pasta, peanut butter, protein bars. Simple. Things that you're familiar with. The goal isn't perfectly balanced meals either. It's removing stress when things get inconvenient. Next, let's talk about light and power. Flashlights, batteries, charged devices. You're not trying to live off-grid. You're just trying to stay functional. If you have the money to invest in a generator or a large battery bank, you won't regret it if and when the time comes, because it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Do your research on your specific household consumption needs as well. Next is mobility. If you had to leave, even temporarily, could you? Start simple. Keep your gas tank above half. This should be a habit, not a reaction. I mentioned this in my first video. Also, have a small go bag ready. Clothes, toiletries, medications, phone charger, enough to leave quickly, without thinking, because under pressure, you're not going to need to rise to the occasion. You'll simply fall back on what's ready, what you've already been preparing for. Next, communication. And this is the part that almost everyone skips, because we assume our phones will always work until they don't. In a large emergency, networks get overloaded, signals drop, batteries die, and suddenly, you can't reach the people you need to. So, here's what you do. Have a simple meeting plan. Pick 1 location, not 5, not complicated, just one place everyone knows. It could be your home, a family member's home, a familiar local spot, and then have a backup plan. If you can't reach each other, what happens next? Have simple rules like, if we can't get in touch with each other, we go home. Or if home isn't an option, we go here. Also, write things down. If your phone dies, do you actually know the numbers you need? So you got to write down phone numbers, addresses, key contacts, and then keep this list somewhere accessible. And finally, unlike Fight Club, the number one rule of having a plan is make sure you talk about the plan. Okay? Having this communication plan is going to put you ahead, because in uncertain times, confusion spreads fast, and clarity is everything. And when you've covered these three areas, your home, your mobility, your communication, you've created something that most people don't have. And that is, you've created a foundation, not based on fear, but on readiness. So if you've been unsure of where to start in this regard, start here. Again, not with everything, but with what you can control, okay? In the meantime, stay smart, stay steady, stay prepared.